Yeah, Jagar, we can start off Monday. It's 11:35. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. So welcome back for the second session of our part of our workshop. So I will quickly share my, whatever we discussed in last session, actually. Just a moment. Yeah. So this was the agenda or the list of topics which we planned for this entire workshop. So part of that we already discussed about some basic stuff about the selenium in the in last session, last Saturday. So part of that we discussed about what is selenium, and I started from very basic, like what is automation, what is test automation, and when it comes to selenium, what is selenium, okay, what are different components it has, and it pros and cons, like different advantages we have with selenium WebDriver and all those things we discussed. And also I gave the details about Java also, like how much Java is generally required for our selenium test automation. Like as I mentioned, right, selenium can be can be used with multiple programming languages, but the workshop which we are going to take up is with selenium with Java. Part of that I gave the details, like how much Java is required. Generally we don't require the entire Java, guys, because Java is not a simple or small thing. It's a big kind of a ocean, but we just need only the core concepts of Java for our selenium test automation. And that's what till there I discussed. And then I showed you how to some configuration or installation related stuff. Like generally we need Java to be installed in our mission. And next thing is like we need Eclipse, which is kind of a IDE, which we required for our programming and also for automating different things. Okay. I also showed you how to download a library of Selenium, like Selenium either server or Selenium Java bindings. You can download from the selenium.dev site, which is official site of Selenium. And then I showed you how to configure it also. Okay, so let me quickly recap that again. And today we are going to discuss about what all different drivers Selenium it has, and different locators of Selenium, and also we'll see how to automate different web controls. Generally we see any web application, and also some synchronization topic, which is like wait for something and all, like that. And then we'll also see handling different pop-ups or frames or browser windows and all. Okay, so let's target till here. uh, these topics we will try to accommodate in the in this particular session today, actually. Okay, so let me go back to my Eclipse. Just a moment. So this is what the Eclipse I downloaded in the sense, generally it's a zip file. Once we download it, you just need to unzip it and then go to the application file where you can just open it. And as I mentioned it, we need to create a workspace before coming to this particular thing. Okay, I created a workspace. I showed everything in the last session, guys. Okay, and then here I created one sample project, naming, I just gave a name like Selenium Java test project, where by default JRE will be there, that is Java library, and then one blank SRC folder will be there. And reference libraries, basically I created one lib folder. Inside that I have kept my kind of this Selenium library file, which I downloaded from the Selenium official site, that is selenium.dev. Then anyway, as soon as we have any jar file or any library file, we need to set a build path, guys. That I already showed you last class. Anyway, I will just show you again. So we need to go to right click on the root project, build path, and configure build path, where under library section, you need to add the library which you have. So initially it won't be there. I added actually. So whenever you click on add jars, so it will show whatever projects you have in your workspace, and there you can go and then go to that lib folder and then add it. Okay. So that is one mandatory step to be followed whenever you are going to you are planning to use any library which is related to Java. Like suppose Selenium is a jar file, right? Suppose I am going to use some other libraries related to some Apache PY, that is for reading and writing data from Excel sheet or something. In such cases, we'll first download those jar files and keep it here, and we have to set the build path. Okay, without setting the build path, we won't be able to use these jar files into your project. Jar files in the sense, generally jar file is nothing but it will have some predefined classes and interfaces or methods, whatever they written. So as part of this jar file, right, the Selenium guys, okay, they have written lot of predefined classes, predefined interfaces, methods and all. So those things which we are going to use, and then we are going to automate our web applications. Okay, so that's where, so setting the build path is very important. Next thing now,
Uh, can you, 1 second, sorry for interruption. Can you please show for adding the library again?
yep.
Yeah. So create a folder library. Then how do we add the library inside there? There is the option not showing up for me.
Okay.
Like folder. So
Okay.
if you,
Yeah.
if,
So one thing, it's not showing for you in the sense while creating the project, right? Let me start from there. While
uh-huh.
creating the project, take file, new project, and go to Java and Java project and
Mhm.
click on next. The step to be followed here is like, see by default here, sometimes you see Java 17 might be selected. So we need to make sure Java 1.8 is selected, and you need to use just a project name. It can be anything. And then make sure this create module info Java, right? This should be unchecked by anyway. Whenever you select this 1.8, so this will be disabled. So if you select this 117 or something, see this create module by default it is selected. Okay, make sure you select this Java SC 1.8 and then proceed. Okay, just give it some name and then proceed it. Once you finish it, right? So this thing will be coming up, and this is normal creating a folder. Just go to new and then create a normal folder. Okay, don't create a source folder. Create a normal folder, just folder, and you can give any name. I just gave lib as name and then click on finish. That blank folder will get created, and then you go to selenium.dev. That is the official site of Selenium, where we can go to downloads part, and here where you can download the Selenium server, which will have all the language bindings. I showed you two options, right? Either you can download this Selenium, I mean language bindings related to particular language. Otherwise, you can download this also. This will include everything, and also this grid also, Selenium grid also included in this package. So you can download this. It will give you as a zip folder. I mean, sorry, a jar file. When I downloaded it, was the latest version was 4.5.0. I think recently they released another version 4.5.2. So anything is fine. 4.5.0 is also fine, and you copy that whatever file you downloaded. Suppose I downloaded here. If I go here, I downloaded this Selenium server. I just copied from here and then pasted in my lib folder. Just right click here and then paste it. Okay, it will come here. Then you need to go to root project, build path, configure build path. So then you see these libraries. So I think only issue with your project might be like, you while creating the project, you might have selected that Java 17 or something, Java SC 17 or something. Make sure you select Java 1.8. So that time you see this libraries folder directly. Sometimes if you have selected that what do you mean Java 17, you see here module one thing and another class path or class something. There will be two options will be coming here. So that could be one of the reasons where you could not find this libraries directly. Okay,
Configure
right.
for configure build path. So we need to go to the properties and just apply that file and then apply and close, right? and
Yeah,
we
just
it again, right?
correct. Once you libraries, you need to click on add jars.
Okay.
So it will open this particular your project name. So inside that, so I don't see lib folder now because I already added.
Yeah.
Yeah, so generally you see that lib folder with that jar file will be there. You just need to select it, click on OK, and then apply, close.
Yeah. I got it.
Got it? Yeah. Okay.
And so after then, we need to go to the right click, the project name, and
Mhm.
configure path. Can you show that again? Configure build. Yeah. So
Uh,
it's like start part for that one. Build path. Okay.
build path and
Yeah.
configure build path.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah. That's the part I need. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah. So now I mean, the setup is done, guys. Like now Selenium setup is done. Only thing is we need to go and start automating the things, right? See, the first step to automate any test case or something, we need to launch the browser, right? So for launching the browser, Selenium guys, they have provided different drivers. Okay, so drivers is nothing but as I mentioned, right? Selenium supports multiple browsers, which are mostly available in our market, like popular browsers like Mozilla Firefox. Uh, don't worry about this HTML in it. Internet Explorer are now Edge, Opera, Safari, and Google Chrome. So for each browser, so Selenium has provided one driver server, guys. Okay, so for Chrome, they have provided one driver server called Chrome driver. For Firefox, Gecko driver. For Edge, basically Edge driver, and for Opera driver, and Safari. So I'm going to show two examples here, not all. So let's take the popular things, Chrome and Firefox. So how to download this? We should have these files actually before launching this file, right? So I need to have these driver server files. You can download those from the official site again. You can go to Selenium official site, right? If you under downloads folder, download space, if you go down, there will be one section called browsers. See, there is a section called browsers. When you expand this, you see Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Chrome, and Edge. So suppose let's try with Chrome first. So Chrome, just click on this link, documentation. It will redirect to the other page. There you can see all versions, and you need to download the compatible version with your browser. Suppose whatever Chrome you have in your mission, right? Suppose in my laptop, I have a Chrome version of, let me check my Chrome version. So you can go to options and then help about Google Chrome. If you see, I have 106 currently and it is again started updating. But anyway, it is up to date and my version is 106.0 something. Okay. So you can just a moment. Yeah. You can go to this thing and you can find, see, latest stable version, stable release for 106 is this one. Okay. So 107 is also there, but it's a beta version. It's not a stable version. You can, and that too as per your local browser version, guys. Suppose your Chrome is not 106, it is 105 or it is 100. Then you can find all the things in this download space. Suppose if you go here they will give 105 and also all other 104, 103 even. Suppose you have very old version, you can find that Chrome driver related to your version also. Okay. So I have 106. I'm going to that 106, this one. Okay. So click on it. So here where it is showing different zip folders. So according to your mission configuration, mine is a Windows mission, that to 64-bit. Okay. So here they are giving for Windows 32, that is fine. So 32-bit Chrome driver will work for both. And others like Linux and Mac, that is nothing but iOS, Mac, some other flavor. Okay. ARM 64 something. But so I have a Windows, then I'm just clicking on this and it will be a simple zip folder. You can go to, once that is there, you can just unzip it, extract all. You will find one exe file inside it. Okay, let me do it. See, I have a exe. This is application file or exe. So this is what. So for Chrome, we need a Chrome driver server, and for Firefox, like the different things will be there. First, let's try with Chrome. So once you have this file, right, you copy it and you can have it in your project structure in somewhere, some folder. I'm going to create one folder, naming it as resources. Okay, RESOURCS resources, and inside this folder I'm going to have that particular file, paste it. Okay, so my chrome driver.exe file came here, right? Now, so I'm going to start launching one blank Chrome browser using this exe file. Let me see. That's so for that we need to have some predefined code required. I will show you. So under source code folder, I'm going to create one package, guys. So generally we need to follow a structure like first package. Inside package, we can create a classes, Java class. So package name can be anything. So general recommended naming convention for package is like, so generally it starts with com dot and the company name or the project for which project you are working. Suppose you are working for a service based company and you are working for a particular client, right? So that the client name you can give. Suppose you are working for Amazon, then you can give Amazon name, the company name. Suppose you are working for any other company, then you can give. Okay, so like that, the com dot the company name we need to give. Suppose let me use Amazon only just for thing, and then uh, what are the things you are automating? Suppose you are automating web application, right? Just mention dot web, and what are you automating? Suppose I am automating my Wikipedia. Suppose I'm going to take a basic website that is wikipedia.org. So let me mention uh, uh, com dot web web dot the any module name we can mention, like let me mention wiki, just simply. So it can be anything, but this is the recommended naming convention to be followed, guys. Okay, it is not mandatory like you need to follow something like that, but better, because we need to follow some best practices, right? So it's not like just giving creating anything like, so we have to follow some best practices which will make sure even it will be in very readable format. Anyone can understand what is that. Okay, so just click on finish. One blank project will, sorry, package will be created. Under that, I'm going to create one new class. So right click on the package, new class. So I'm going to automate. So I'm going to give the name. So class name should always start with capital letter S. That has to be followed. Okay. So I'm giving my class name as selenium underscore automate underscore wiki underscore chrome. Okay. So some name. So I'm automating wiki site with Chrome browser. Just click on finish. You don't need to touch anything here, guys. Just give a name and then click on finish. So one class will be created. Just a moment. See, under this package, my class got created. So now here I am going to start writing my automation script. Okay. So that is where my intention of this example is to launch a Chrome browser. First, I want to launch a blank browser. Then I will enter some URL, all those things. Let's go step by step. Okay. So generally, if I want to run any Java class, right, I should have a main method. Okay, because Java class execution will start from the main method. So I'm creating a main method. So there is a shortcut to create a main method in Eclipse. Just type main and then press Control space, and it will suggest something. Out of it, there is one main method suggestion. Just click on it, and it will create one main method for us. Like generally, this is the syntax for creating any general main method, like public static void main string and arguments. Okay, so instead of writing everything, so Eclipse has a shortcut. Just type main and then press Control and space key. Okay, so this is the basic step. So for each class, generally I should have a main method because I'm going to run it. So actually from main method, it will execution will start. Now, so as part of Selenium, right? I mean, so I need to start a Chrome browser, right? So for that, so generally Selenium has one predefined class called Chrome driver. Okay. So there is a class called Chrome driver. Suppose if you type Chrome and then press Control space, see it is giving one predefined class called Chrome driver that is from org.openqa.selenium.chrome. This is a predefined package which is inside this library, guys. See this Selenium server library, right? Inside this particular predefined package and predefined class is there. So I'm getting this option because I have my library and I set my build path. That's why I'm able to see this option. Otherwise, these options won't be coming. Okay. So generally, we need to create an object to this particular class called Chrome driver. So generally in Java, how do we create a class? I mean, object to the class using a new operator, right? And then this object, I'm going to assign it to WebDriver reference variable. There is one predefined interface called WebDriver that is also from org.openqa.selenium package, and it is WebDriver is basically an interface, guys. Okay, it's not a predefined class, it's a predefined interface. So generally in Java we have a concept called interface. Interfaces are similar to class, but it has some different properties. Okay, so I'm creating one reference variable called driver, and this object of Chrome driver I am assigning to the WebDriver reference variable. Okay, yeah. See, this is the sorry. So this is the line of code which will create one, or it will open one blank browser, guys. Just one line of code, but before that I need to set one more property. I will set that. So this is the basic basic thing where I'm just creating one object to the predefined called Chrome driver, and I assign to the WebDriver interface reference variable. So before that I need to mention where my Chrome driver.exe is there. Okay, that means I need to use this Chrome driver.exe. Otherwise, I cannot launch my browser. I cannot automate anything. Okay, so before creating an object, right? So I need to mention where exactly my Chrome driver.exe is there. That path I need to mention. For that, we need to set one system property. Okay, system is there is one class called system in Java. There is method for inside that called set property. So where I need to set two things. One is a parameter name and parameter value I need to set. Okay. So here for Chrome driver, there is one predefined parameter that is called WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver. Okay. So this is the syntax to be followed, guys. So this is the parameter name. We have to give the same parameter name. Even spelling mistakes also it won't allow. If you give some spelling mistake here, then it won't work. So WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver, and here you need to mention the path of your Chrome driver. So I'm going to tell to this particular Java class saying that my Chrome driver is inside my root project. Under root project, there is one folder called resources. Under that, my Chrome driver is there. That path I need to mention. So generally root project will represent with a dot, and single forward slash means inside a root project, there is one resources folder, right? So single forward slash resources. Inside resources, I have a Chrome driver.exe. That's it. Okay. So I'm just giving the path of my Chrome driver.exe and setting the parameter called or attribute called webdriver.chrome.driver. Okay. So without this line of code, you cannot execute this. Okay. Because whenever you are going to create an object to the Chrome driver, we need to mention where my Chrome driver.exe is there. Okay. So these two lines of code will make sure launching a blank browser. Okay, let's try that. Just try to run only these two lines. Okay, I'm not going to add one more any other lines. Just I'm just running these two lines, and let's see whether a blank browser is getting opened or not. So I have one Chrome browser already which is opened. Let me close this, guys. Okay, I have closed it. Now I don't have any Chrome browsers opened in my mission, right? I'm just running this Java class as a right click on this particular class and run as Java application. It is a simple Java application. So I'm running as a Java application. Let's see. See, it will show some log messages. Just a moment. See, here some console log is coming. See, one blank browser came up, right? See, one normal Chrome blank browser opened. If you see the message here, Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. That is nothing but our Selenium. Okay. So whatever browser instance opened, right? So it is opened by Selenium. That's why it is controlled by an automated software system. It is showing. If you normally open a Chrome browser, you don't see such message. See, I open normal browser, I don't see such message because here I'm getting this message because I opened this browser through my Selenium code or Selenium script. That's why you see this message Chrome is being controlled by an automated software test software, right? See, just 2 lines of code. It started, see, it is giving some console messages here. Starting Chrome driver version something and only local connections are allowed, some messages. These are some info messages. You don't need to worry about all this. So some console message gave and it opened one blank browser. Okay. And by default, it opened in a minimized mode, guys. Okay. In a minimized thing. You can maximize using another script. I will show you that line of code. Okay. So what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to write one more line of code. That is like I have now driver, right? So this driver is nothing but my Chrome browser from now onwards. Okay. So driver dot there are some predefined methods available. Manage dot window dot maximize. When I call these methods, right? So it will simply maximize my browser. So by default, because of these 2 lines, it opened one fresh instance of Chrome browser, but with a minimized mode. So using this thing, I can simply maximize my browser. Okay. Then I am going to add one more line, driver.get. There is a method called get inside a WebDriver interface. I'm just calling that predefined method called get. So here where you need to pass your URL. That is nothing but your application, whichever application you want to automate, whichever application you want to launch in the browser. Okay. So I'm going to launch my simple wikipedia.org. Okay, this application I want to launch. Okay, let's take this URL. And one point here we need to remember is whenever you are going to provide URL, so make sure you start with either HTTP or HTTPS, guys. So don't start with www dot or something. So generally we should also provide the protocol information. Okay, this is HTTP. Generally any website either it will have HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, any one of these two things should be there. So this wikipedia.org has HTTPS. So then that's where I just mentioned this. So that's it, guys. Whenever you just call this method called get and give the URL, what it will do, it will simply load this particular URL into the browser instance which is opened above. Okay. Now let me run and show you same thing this time. See, it is asking us to save the Java class. I saved it. Let's see. See, it is opened, maximized, and then entered wikipedia.org. That's it, right? So just as simple as just 4 lines of script I have written to automate a simple Chrome browser. Automate in the sense launching a browser, maximizing it, and launching or loading my application, right? That's where the Chrome driver or driver server is required. Similarly, let's take one example for Firefox also. How to launch a Firefox browser. Okay. So for that, first thing is that you should have a Firefox installed in our machine. Okay. Let me check Firefox user. I have a Firefox. Okay. Let me see the version of Firefox which I have. So similar way, right? Skip this step, not required. Skip this. So it is giving some basic because I don't use Firefox. That's why by default it is asking. Let me check my Firefox version. Help. about Firefox. So currently this is also 106.0.1. Okay. So same way, how did you download this Chrome driver, right? So here also you can go to selenium.dev and go to downloads and go down to the browsers section and Firefox, click on this documentation. So here where you will have the different versions. See the Selenium version also they are asking if Selenium version is greater than 3.1.3.11. Anyway, our Selenium version is uh, 4.5.0, right? Which is anyway obviously greater than this. And Firefox minimum version 102 and maximum anything. For that, I can download a Gecko driver called 0.3.32.0. Okay. So where can I find this 0.332.0 Gecko driver? So for Firefox, generally we should download a Gecko driver, guys. They named it as Gecko driver. So for Chrome, they named it as Chrome driver. Okay. You can go down somewhere or else here. See Gecko driver releases. Just click on this link and here it will show. See, I need to download this 0.32.0 only, right? Because this is greater than 102 and also any version of latest I can use it. So here where you can just click on this on that version name and here where just a moment. Yeah, if you scroll down, you see there will be .targ. All these are not required. You can download a zip folder will be there. See Win64, Windows 64, Windows 32. Anything you can download. Yes, suppose even you have operating system which is Windows 64-bit, you can even use 32 also. Okay, but let me download 64 only. Better download 64 and zip folder will get downloaded and just go there and unzip it, extract all. It will also have one exe file that is called Gecko driver exe. So I'm going to copy and have it under resources. Same way, how did I do for this Chrome driver, right? Same way I am doing for Gecko driver. Okay. Now let's try to use and open the Firefox browser and automate it. Okay. Let me close this and I'm going to create a new class under same package. Right click, name as class name, selenium underscore automates underscore wiki underscore, let me mention Firefox, not Chrome, Firefox. And guys, one thing you need to remember is right, for exe files or for application files, you don't need to set a build path. Build path should be set only for jar files, only for libraries. This is not a library. This is an executable file or application file. Okay. So remember, you should set a build path only for jar files or the libraries. Okay. Now my class is ready. Same way I'm going to create a main method. I'm going to create here a object to the Firefox class. There is one predefined class called Firefox driver available under org.openqa.selenium. So let me create an object to this and I'm going to assign to the similar way to the WebDriver reference variable. Okay, let me import this package org.openqa.selenium. So here also I need to set a system property. Okay, and the here only the name will change, guys. That the property name should be WebDriver dot here gecko gecko dot driver. Okay, so in case of Chrome, what we used WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver, but in case of Firefox, we need to use WebDriver dot gecko dot driver, and here also you need to simply provide the your Firefox or Gecko driver path. Okay, it is also under root project, under resources, and name of my file is gecko driver.exe. That's it. Okay. So first let us run these two lines. It will open one blank Firefox browser. Okay, let me run as a simple Java application. Let's see. See, there are some information it is giving, echo driver and all this. Don't worry about. See, it opened a fresh instance of Firefox browser. Okay, so see the difference here. Firefox is getting opened by default with a maximized mode, but Chrome is not like that. Chrome is in a minimized mode. That's how they defined like that. Don't worry, for anyway we have things here. In this case, I don't need to write driver.manage.window.maximize because by default it is opening as a maximized mode. Now I'm directly going and using a get method and I am passing my URL. Okay, let me copy that URL from here. Okay, just run it. So here, first it has to launch a fresh browser, Chrome browser, sorry, Firefox browser with this URL. See, it is loading my application, wikipedia.org, right? So as simple as Chrome browser. Only the difference here is in case of Chrome, I need to use a Chrome driver information. In case of Firefox, I need to Firefox driver information. That is nothing but Gecko driver information. And the other difference you see here, I created an object to the Firefox driver class, but here I created an object to the Chrome driver class. Okay, similar way for IE or Edge also, you can create an Edge driver. There is one Edge driver class. You need to create an object to Edge driver class, and you need to download that Edge driver exe file, and you need to mention configure same thing. Okay, I'm not going to show that because it is almost similar. Okay, you can give a try from your side, so it will work as same as Firefox or Chrome. Okay. So that's all about driver servers, guys. And there is one special thing in Selenium is like HTML unit driver. That is nothing but a invisible browser, guys. So Selenium, guys, they have created one headless or invisible browser, which is something like other than normal browsers which we have in the market, right? So you can open one invisible browser and where you can run your test cases. In that case, what will happen? It will open one browser behind the screen. I mean, you don't see that physical browser is opening. Like, how did we see like for Chrome or Firefox, right? So in case of HTML unit, there won't be any browser is opening like a physical browser. But so in headless, in behind the screen, one browser will get opened and it will start performing the actions as per instructions which we generally give. Okay, so for that we need to use one uh, kind of uh, library so that you can get it from the Selenium official site. Just a minute, you can search here. Yeah, HTML unit. I already have a search key. See HTML unit. Here they haven't provided in the documentation. Don't worry, you can go to the Google and search like Selenium HTML. Just a moment. HTML unit driver. Okay. GitLab. Yeah. So this is GitLab Selenium HQ official GitLab. You can go here and you see there is one latest 4.5.0 HTML unit driver. You just click on it and you can download a jar file. Okay, jar file you can download directly. Just click on it. It will download a jar file. Okay, and you can simply copy this jar file. Along with this, I think you need, instead of HTML driver, this one you can download with dependencies also, guys. Let me download with the dependencies. I think this would be the ideal one. Let me have this one. Just a moment, it is still downloading. This one, let me copy this and have it in my project. So it's a jar file. That's why I'm going to have it under lib folder, paste it and set the build path. So as I mentioned, right, whenever you are having any jar file, you need to set the build path, add jars, go to this lib, this one, click on OK and apply and close. Okay. So let me create a new class here for this example. Let me mention HTML unit. Okay. So here you don't need to load any exe file or something else. You directly create an object to HTML unit. There is one HTML unit driver. Unit. Yeah, HTML unit driver. And you just assign it to one web driver reference variable. Okay. Let me import this package. Now you just use driver.get method and just provide that URL. Okay. That's it. So whenever I run it, right, you don't see any browser is up and running. So behind the screen, it will open and run it. So we want to check whether it is really opened or not. So let's do one thing. You go to, I'm going to write one simple script, guys. Don't worry about that. So I'm trying to read this text. Okay. I'm trying to read. Let me check whether it is image or normal thing. It's a span with Wikipedia and this thing. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me create one XPath. Don't worry about what is XPath and all. We'll discuss those things. For I want to show you one example whether it is really opening and then reading the things, right? Let me do one thing. Let me start with central logo inside H1, and inside H1 there is one strong thing. I am trying to read this, the free encyclopedia. This text I want to read. So I'm taking one XPath here. So don't worry, all this will explain. Let me, I just wanted to find element by XPath. Okay, let me first finish it, guys. Then I will simply run it and show you. Okay. So let me print one message. Header text dot get text. Sorry. Okay. So I'm using HTML edit driver, which is invisible driver, that is nothing but headless browser, where you don't see any browser is up and running here. So just I wanted to show whether it is really working fine or not. What I'm doing, I'm launching my Wikipedia site, and also I'm trying to read the text which is present here. This text I'm trying to read it. So if it is reading properly means, that means the browser was opened properly and it tried to locate this particular element and it tried to read the text and then printed here. Okay, let's see. So I'm just running it. So you don't see anything here, any browser is up and running. But after running, you see only the console output. See? So it ran properly and I got the console output. See, my result has been printed here, the free encyclopedia. So this is coming from here, header text.get text. That means it launched one invisible browser and it loaded my application and it tried to read this particular, locate this element and read the text, right? So that is how HTML unit is one of the browsers developed by Selenium team. So it is headless browser. You cannot see that. It has some disadvantages. That's why generally in real time also we don't use much this, because there are some disadvantages, like whenever you want to take a screenshot in case of your test case failure. So in HTML unit driver, it is very difficult. There are some other ways to do it, but pure HTML unit driver cannot take a screenshot and then give it us, right? So that's where, so generally in real time, we mostly go for Firefox, Chrome, Edge, or Safari or whatever drivers. Okay. Yes, this is all about drivers or the browsers, how to launch a browser, guys. So I just taken an examples for till how to launch a browser, how to launch application. Now let's see the next steps, how to locate the web elements and how to automate the different controls. Okay. So I'm going step by step, guys. So that's where you can easily understand. See, whenever you want to automate any simple test case, what first, what we have to do first, we need to launch a browser and we need to launch application. Then we need to locate web elements or the elements and we need to click on it or we need to do some action, right? So let's see how to locate the web elements using Selenium. So locating web elements is the main important stage in the entire test automation, guys. Okay, so not only Selenium, if you take any tool, any automation tool, any test automation tool, locating web elements is the main stage, because that's where your scripts or your automation test cases stability will depend. Okay, so that's where, so in Selenium, there are multiple ways to locate your web element. Locating web element is nothing but, see, I have a test case where I need to launch my application. I need to enter some text into this text box. I need to select some option in the drop down. I need to click on this. So if I want to enter some text into text box, I need to first locate this element, right? Where this particular text box is there in this entire page, right? So this is a very big HTML page, like a home page or something. Inside this entire page, whenever I want to enter some text into this text box, I need to find where exactly this text box is there. Because I'm a manual user, I know here, because I'm in front of the machine and I know my text box is here, because I'm a normal manual user or a normal human being. I'm able to see this particular text box. But when it comes to an automation tool, right? So when it comes to any automation tool, it has to find out where exactly this particular element is there, whichever element you are going to act upon, right? So that's where, so you need to locate that particular element by using some locators. Okay, so any automation tool, it will have some locators. So same way Selenium has some locators defined to locate a particular element. So out of that, it has defined total some 7 to 8, guys. So out of that, so there are something called ID. You can locate that element by using its ID, and you can locate that particular element by its class name, or you can locate, if it is a link or hyperlink, you can locate it by link text, or you can locate it by partial link text, or you can locate it by name of that particular element, or XPath, CSS selector, and tag name. XPath, CSS selector are something, some compound locators where you need to frame something to locate that. But all others are, you can directly get it from the that particular element properties. Okay, how do I get the element properties? So this particular element, a text box or drop down or button or hyperlink. Suppose here I have a hyperlink, right? So if at all I want to get the properties of this, So you can right click on this particular element and you can inspect it. Okay. So when you click on inspect, it will open a DOM structure. Generally, we call it as a DOM structure. That is nothing but document object model structure. Okay, that is nothing but the HTML code of your page. Okay, the HTML code of your entire web page here. It will have some CSS information also, but don't worry about. I just need element information. That's it. To get that element information, what I do, I right click, inspect, and then go to that particular. So it will highlight that particular element. So for this text box, the developers of this particular Wikipedia site, they have given a input tag. Okay, so this input tag is a HTML tag, right? So they have given input tag and they have given different attributes to that particular tag like ID, name, type, size, autofocus, auto access key, and like that. Okay, so by using these properties, any one of these, I should be able to locate my element. That's where Selenium guys also what they have done. They also defined some locator types. By using that, we can proceed and locate that particular element. That is nothing but ID. Suppose see this input tag has some ID. By using this ID, I can locate this particular element uniquely. And also one important thing is right. So you have to locate your element uniquely. That means there should not be two elements with the same ID or whenever you are locating, there should not give two elements or something. It should always give only one element. Okay. So like that ID, say suppose if you see here name is there, you can use name and you can use class name. Suppose if it has any class, it doesn't have any class. Suppose some other something like if you see this div has a class like that by using class name and link text. Suppose if you are locating this hyperlink like download Wikipedia something, it has a hyperlink anchor tag, right? And it has a text inner text like this download. By using this, you can locate and partial link text. Link text is nothing but you can take the part of this link text only like suppose half of this link text and you can locate it and name I have showed and tag name. Suppose here this is anchor tag, right? Strong is a tag name, div is a tag name, like that input is a tag name, p is a tag name. You can even locate some elements by using tag names also. Okay, so any one of these you can use and you can locate your web element uniquely. Okay, to locate web elements, Selenium has provided one predefined method called find element, guys. Okay, let me show you. Just a moment. My Eclipse is not. Yeah. So let's take one thing. I am going to create one more package, guys, here. Let me create a package. Com dot. So I gave some name, locators. Okay. So here I'm going to create a new class under the package selenium underscore demo or selenium underscore locators underscore demo. Okay. Just like that. So here, let me put a basic stuff like creating a main method. Okay. And I'm going to copy the Chrome example. Okay. So that means here I am ready with Chrome and I opened my Wikipedia. Next step is like I need to locate the elements. So here where WebDriver has one predefined method called find element and where you need to pass a parameter by using a predefined class called by. This by class has some predefined methods like ID, name, XPath, whatever locators we have. Okay, class name, link text, partial link text, all this, whatever locators we have, right? So these Selenium guys, they have created a, some method for each one of them. Like for ID, there is a method called ID. So suppose if at all I want to locate element by ID, I can use by dot ID, and in double quotes I need to pass that ID name. Okay, let me import this by. By is a predefined class in Selenium. So here I need to pass that ID. Suppose I want to locate this text box, right? I'm using this ID. You can double click on it. You can get this and then take this and then put it. Okay. So this find element method, it returns a web element interface reference value, guys. There is one more predefined interface called web element. Okay. So let me import this. See, import web element. So this is an interface. Here I means interface, guys. Okay. This is another predefined interface. So here you just name something. So this is a text box, right? Let me mention SCARCH search text box. Okay. See. So this is how I can locate any particular web element and assign it to the web element reference variable. So this web element has some predefined methods to perform different actions. Suppose it is a text box, right? I need to enter some text into text box. For that, there is one predefined method called send keys. I need to call that method and pass it. Okay. So first, just I wanted to uh, show you how to locate web element by using a find element method and by using a class predefined class called by, and it has a methods like that. You can use any one of these. Suppose you can use class name, link test, partial link test, name, all these. And another, there are two things called XPath and CSS selectors. Suppose generally most of the times whenever you go for any application, most of the times you don't find direct IDs to the elements, guys. Okay. So generally in a normal websites, you find ID as a attribute, but in complex or advanced websites, you don't see IDs directly. Though you have IDs, those will be some dynamic IDs. Those will get changed whenever you refresh your page or reload your application. Okay. That's where, so whenever you don't find any of these locators, you are not able to locate your element by using any one of these like ID or class name or link test or partial link test, then you can go and use a XPath or CSS selector. XPath is basically a combination of different elements properties, guys. You can prepare XPath by using a one or more properties of that particular element. Suppose, so generally XPath will have two things. One is a relative XPath and absolute XPath. So absolute XPath, which always start from the root element, that is HTML, and relative XPath you can prepare in the even from the middle of the uh, your DOM structure. Okay. Suppose for the same element input, I'm going to prepare an XPath. The syntax for XPath, right? So just let me show you that, guys. See, generally relative XPath will start with double forward slash and the tag name. Okay, whichever tag you are going to use, whether it is input tag or anything, and open close square brackets and at the rate that attribute name, okay, equal to in single quotes that attribute value. Okay, so this is the syntax for preparing an XPath, guys. Relative XPath double forward slash, and you can, so you can suppose inside this thing there is one more thing, you can put a single forward slash and then use it. Okay, so this is how you can prepare XPaths, guys. So XPath is one of the most popular locators in Selenium. Popular in the sense, so generally we mostly use XPath as part of our real-time test automation also, because it has a lot of benefits. Even your application, your elements doesn't have any what do you mean ID or name, direct name or ID, then you can go for XPath and then prepare XPath and then use it. Okay, so that's how you can prepare. Suppose let me you can cross check preparing XPath by using here guys, like just in DOM structure, you press Control F, there will be one text box will be opened here. Okay. Here where you can write XPath, suppose input tag. I'm going to use ID only here. Let me use ID only. See, same thing. I'm following the same thing. See, one of one it is giving. That means my XPath is uniquely identifying this particular element and it is highlighted. Okay. That's how you can prepare XPaths, and you can, I will show you different examples while automating different things, guys. Okay. For now, just use give basic things. Driver dot find element by, and there is one method called XPath, and here where you can put a XPath. Okay. So this how you can locate XPaths using you can locate web elements using XPaths. Okay. So that is all about locating web elements, guys. Because see, locating web element is the main stage. Because suppose if your WebDriver is unable to locate an element, then your script will fail, guys. Okay. Suppose here you gave one XPath, but this XPath is not correct. Then while locating this particular element, your script will fail. That's where whatever locators you are using, right, while automating your test cases, you should focus more while locating the web elements, because the entire your automation script stability depends on your locators. Got it? Yeah. So that's all about locators, guys. So before moving to the next topic, like automating different web elements or input fields or something, whatever web elements generally we see in common in different applications. I will tell you how to automate text boxes, radio buttons, and all. Before that, let me take a pause here, and if you guys have any questions or concerns, we can just quickly discuss, and then we'll proceed with these things.
Hello.
Yes, please.
I have a question.
Yeah.
While importing the web driver in the Chrome driver, while importing them in, placing the elements like setting properties and web drivers, I'm getting an error for creating a class. So can you show how, while importing, how do we create class, or the class is not needed while importing
Okay. Got it.
elements? Yeah, yeah.
Got it. So as I mentioned it before coming to these steps, first you need to have a Selenium server 4.5.0 or Selenium Java, whatever. So you have already set the build path, I hope. Build
Yes.
path, configure build path, everything is done. Then
Yes.
whenever you start typing, suppose you are start typing, creating an object to this Chrome driver class. So
Yes.
just type Chrome driver, it will suggest something. Like suppose I am typing Chrome, and just press Control and space key, and see,
Yes.
it will suggest something. You can take this suggestion directly, or else you just type complete. Suppose you know the entire name of your class, so something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just create an object, right, like this. And generally it will give, yeah, it is not giving here. Let me comment out this. Yeah. And also Chrome driver is already imported. Let me comment out this also. See,
Yeah.
now it is giving an error. So just mouse over on that, and it will give the options like
Mm-hmm.
import the package. So import this particular class from this particular package.
Mm-hmm.
So just click on it, then it will import that particular package here, and that error will be gone.
It's not going away. I'm sorry. While hovering, I while, 1 second. I'm just trying to remove the import file.
Yeah.
Over onto the Chrome driver, for example,
Mhm. Mhm.
I see options like import Chrome driver
Mhm.
and create class Chrome driver. It is showing up those one. So I'm trying to click onto the import Chrome driver, and the import or came in, even though the error is going away, it's showing in the errors line in that time. The it's showing suggestion is showing that create class Chrome driver in package, the particular package name that I have given where the this main method is placed. I'm getting it. Yeah.
Mm,
Is
do
it
one thing. Yeah, I think there is something is missing from your end.
Mhm.
Can you able to take a screenshot and then paste it in the chat box?
Yeah, it's actually my system is not connecting. I don't know what some kind of error is happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm using on my phone and separately on my
Oh,
laptop.
okay, okay. Got it, got it.
So
You
yeah,
joined
uh,
Zoom using
yeah, yeah,
these things, right?
yeah.
Uh, so generally it should not, after importing the
Mhm.
class, right?
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me do one.
It's showing. It's showing for me. It's showing that suggestions create class
Mm.
Chrome driver in package is showing for me.
Okay, okay. It is asking to create a class. It's not showing the import option. Is it?
Yeah, uh, it's showing the import option. The import option is coming there. The import option
Mm.
is getting the error too, and the suggestion is showing is create class chrome driver. Maybe some thing I missed before creating package. I have created package and the class name java class with that like you have created
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Correct,
Yeah,
correct. So
yeah.
do one thing, do one thing.
Hmm?
So you are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Suppose you created a class and then you created a main method, right?
Oh, 1 second.
Ins
Yeah,
inside, yeah,
yeah, I've created that one inside the class.
yeah. So inside class, a main method you have. Inside main method, you started typing this Chrome driver, right?
Yes, exactly.
And can you type this entire line?
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah,
I just remove the import part too before that. It's
yep,
already,
yep,
so I'm removing every import part. So after setting up the system set property, I
yep,
have like for example new and space Chrome driver
yes.
suggestion, right? Chrome driver suggestion is coming up there. Yeah, now it
Okay,
came up
yes.
the new Chrome driver and with the import part in the top. Even though it shows there is error of create a class, it is showing for me.
That is okay. Just ignore that and
Mm-hmm.
then proceed typing this driver equal to new Chrome driver.
Yeah. Uh, for I mean, for this typing rules, do we need to type the driver and the elements in the caps letter? For
Yeah, yeah,
I,
correct.
okay,
Driver should be like W should be caps and D should be cap.
okay. Web driver. I'm going there. Web driver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you will get an suggestion also here also to import that driver package.
yeah. 1 second, please.
Yeah,
So it's showing up for me interface. I don't know.
correct, correct.
But
Interface only. Yes, driver is an
yeah,
interface.
okay. Yeah, it went there. Now it is calling up the interface right now. Even
Correct.
though imported, there are showing me errors there.
Yeah, now driver equal to new Chrome driver. This line is there, right? This entire line you done with this, right?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm done with that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Then just save your class. Control S.
1 second, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saving the class. How
Still
save the
you see. Mm.
1 second, please. I have saved it. Still, I'm seeing it error though. Maybe if I go and type like a get URL something, maybe it work or not. I can see that
No, no,
errors.
no. Generally, there should
Uh,
not be any errors.
Kishore
Okay.
Garu, what we'll do is if you can take a screenshot of it and post it in the WhatsApp group, then many can answer, Andy.
Yeah, yeah. I can show. I can show one. Yeah, once. It's actually I'm outside too with somebody else. So yeah, I'll do it later and I'll share the screenshot to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be helpful, Andy.
Yeah.
To continue the session, we have a limited time, so that's the reason. Don't
Yeah.
mind.
I understand. Yeah. It's actually we are learning, right? It would be.
Yeah,
I thought I'm more hands on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
I
do
have
it.
a very quick question. How to learn
Please.
writing experts? Because you are writing it very fast. Where to learn it? Any tips or tricks that can learn or
Uh,
sites?
correct. Yeah. So generally, first we need to uh, get the syntax for how to write different text paths. Once you understand the syntax, right? So you need to try, I mean, you need to explore, or you need to try to create XPaths for more elements. That will come by experience, actually. Experience in the sense, as much as you start creating or identifying the elements using XPath, you'll be able to. Very first time, you first need to learn the syntax. Like suppose, as I mentioned it, for a relative XPath, first we need to start with the double forward slash and tag name and at the rate that attribute name. Here I can use any attribute name, like whatever attributes that particular element has. It's not just ID. You can use even autofocus also, autofocus or access key or dir, anything you can use, and that value you can provide. This is a basic syntax for creating a basic XPath for using one normal tag. So there will be complex XPaths also. Suppose I need to locate one element which is inside a here. Suppose I need to locate this select box. Okay, so I can directly use ID. Instead, even I can start from this particular div and then proceed till this particular select tag, and then I can locate. Okay, these are all will
Okay.
you will be able to come to that position once you start learning, I mean, getting the syntaxes, and then start practicing, so that you will be able to. And
Yeah.
one
Any
one
website to practice or any?
yeah, so generally XPath W3 schools also will be there. That is one thing. And one, even once you learn that syntax, right, even you take any application, and here you can open a DOM structure or this developer tools, and control F and start prepare your XPath and cross check whether it is giving one of one or not. Suppose here I am going to create XPath for this select ID, but starting from div. Okay, at the rate class equal to. Okay, so here there is one of one, but my intention is to select this select ID. So inside this there is one more div, and inside that I have a select tag. See, I came here, right, and it is giving one of one. That is how you can cross check here also. You
Okay.
once you learn the things, right, you can take any website and then go to that particular element and start preparing your XPath and cross check whether it is really highlighting your element which you wanted to locate. And also here right side you need to see one of one. It is always very important. If it is giving one of two or one of three, means there are duplicate elements with the same XPath, but our XPath should always use unique elements. Okay, that's why
Okay. Got it.
your XPath
Thanks.
will work, and your script also will be stable.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah.
Yep. Any other things, guys, before going into the next thing? Okay, so I have some questions in chat box. Anyway, we'll take those at the end of the session. So let's complete next set of things, like how to automate different web elements, right? Suppose generally if you open any website, not only this Wikipedia, I just took the basic site. If you go to suppose facebook.com, okay, I have a home page where I can log in. I mean, it is asking to enter email ID, password, and login, or else there is one create new account. And when I click on it, there is simple form is coming where it is asking us to enter first name, last name. If you see, these are all different web elements. That is nothing but text boxes, select boxes, radio buttons, check boxes, buttons, close buttons, hyperlinks, right? So these are different web elements which we generally see in any website, any application, right? So text boxes, text areas, buttons, these will be there. Then how to automate these web elements using Selenium? Okay, that's we are going to learn now. So for each control or each web element, so Selenium also has provided some predefined methods or predefined uh, classes or interfaces, guys. So using those, you can simply automate those things. Suppose if at all I want to enter some text into text box, there is one predefined method called send keys. Using that, I can enter some text. And if I want to select some option from the drop down, there is one predefined class called select. Okay. And if at all I want to select any radio button, there is something called button, right? This is also radio button or normal button or checkbox. All these are coming from a button family. So that means there will be a common method click. So if at all you want to automate a radio button, you can use a click method. To click on a button also, you can use a click method. To check a checkbox also, you can use a click method. Okay. So only thing is, before doing these actions, you need to locate these web elements and then perform those actions. Got it? Now let's do one thing. So I anyway noted down, I listed out here for different things. I will just explain this quickly and then we'll take one example with all of them, automating all of them. Okay. So first thing is like text box or text area. So both are same, guys, same in the sense both are coming from the same family. It's a box or it's a field where user can enter some text into that. If it is a text box, there will be limited characters they will allow. In case of text area, the character size will be more, like you can enter some more characters in that particular text area field, right? So for any text area text box, there is one method called send keys. This send keys is method is coming from the web element interface, guys. So first thing is I need to locate that particular text area text box by using a locator, and then it will return as one web element. So this web element has two different methods. One is clear, one is send keys. So clear method is basically to clean up the some text which is already there in text box. Suppose the text box has some pre-text. If at all you want to clear that, you can simply call the method called clear. If at all you want to enter some new text into the text box, then there is a method called send keys. Okay. So these two methods are basically for automating the text boxes or text areas, guys. So similarly, radio button, right? So this is a button. So generally for any button, a simple method called click. So this click method is also coming from the web element only, web element interface only. So all these are predefined methods from Selenium web element interface, guys. So that's where, so once you learn these predefined methods, classes, interfaces, all these things, right? So you will be able to automate any website, because generally any website will have these controls only most of the times, right? So only thing is that you just need to remember these method names. To automate text box, we need to use send keys method. To automate button, click method. That's it. To automate radio button or checkbox or anything, just click method only. Normal button also. And one more thing, if at all you want to cross check whether that radio button is selected or unselected, there is one method called is selected, guys. So by using this, you can check whether that radio button is already selected or it is non-selected or something. So this is selected method will return a Boolean type thing, like whether if it is selected, it will return true. If it is not selected, it will return false. I will show you one example also with this for this. And checkboxes. Checkboxes is also coming from the same family like button, because here, see, based on the action, they define the methods, guys. The Selenium guys, so they gave the method names also very, very catchy names. Catchy names in the sense like, so what I'm doing, I'm clicking, right? So if at all I want to check this checkbox, I need to click on this checkbox. That means click. So they gave the name, method name also click. And if at all I want to enter some text, and that means I need to send some keys. Keys are nothing but my keyboard keys. I need to press some keys in my keyboard. I need to send my keys into that particular box, text box. That's where the method names also very meaningful method names. Anyone can easily remember and understand, right? Relatable actually. So that's where for all the button types, like wherever you are clicking something, so for all those, there is a method called click method. It can be a button, simple push button, or it can be a radio button, or it can be a checkbox, or it can be a link, hyperlink. Hyperlink also generally what we do, we click it, right? So wherever you are doing a click action, so then you can simply use a click method and then automate that particular action. That's it. So for any click, you can simply, so you are clicking on that, that means you can simply call the click method and then automate that action. Okay. So for checkbox also, you can use a is selected method to check whether that particular checkbox is selected or not. Okay. And drop down. So generally, drop down has a special thing because it will have different options inside it, and I need to select a particular option, right? So for that, what these guys, Selenium guys, they have done is they created one predefined class called select. Okay. So first I need to create an object to the select class here, and I need to, while creating an object, I need to pass the web element information. Like I need to locate this drop down, and then I need to pass that. Once I create a object to the select class, so this select class has three different methods, like select by visible text, select by value, select by index. So I can select this option by visible text. Suppose visible text in the sense whatever is visible here, Asia Pacific or Europe or Middle East or anything, and select by value. So when I inspect this, right, there will be some values they will be providing. So I can use this select by value method and then automate it. And index. So each option will have one index. So first option will have 0 index. Second option will have index 1, something like that. I can pass the index and also select it. Okay. So I will show you all this with one example. So let me do one thing. Okay. This file upload control will discuss after this. So let's take one simple example. Combining all these, I will take one example with, let's take this Facebook example only. I have all the controls here. I have a text box, I have a select box, I have a radio button, I have a push button. Okay, normal button. I have hyperlinks also here. Okay, so let's take this example only. Let's try to automate this create new account of Facebook. Okay, so what I am going to do, right? Let's take one. I'm going to create a new package here. Let's see. Let me name it as com.amazon.facebook.create account. Any name can be given, guys, but I'm just giving some. Okay. So here where I'm going to create a new class under that package and naming it as Selenium underscore automate underscore Facebook create account. Okay. And let me first have basic stuff like main method, and I need to launch the application, right? So let me copy that basic stuff here from here. Paste it. So let me change this Wikipedia URL to the my Facebook URL. Let me take this. Okay. Then, so first thing, as soon as I load this application, I need to click on a create new account button, right? So let me first locate this create new account button, right click, inspect. So under elements, you will have this, right? So you can have a pointer here also. You can take this pointer and then place that pointer on the button or whatever element which you want to locate it. So I'm placing here. Suppose if you see, so this is an anchor tag they have given. So inside anchor tag, let me see anything else is there. No. So anchor tag, it has different attributes like role, class, ID also there, but this ID seems to be not promising. That means it has some numbers. Generally, guys, one of the things to be remember is whenever you see any numbers in ID or name something, right? So don't take or don't use those in your XPath creation or in your locators, because if you see there are some numbers means these will get changed whenever you reload this page or whenever you come to this application next time. So better avoid those such kind of attributes in your locators. So what I do, right? I will use this create account text. Okay, because if I see in this entire page, I don't see anywhere this create new account text. Okay, with anchor tag. So whenever you want to locate any particular element, this generally we call it as inner text of this particular element, guys. In HTML wording, generally we call this as inner text of an particular element. If at all I want to locate inner text of an element in XPath, we have one method called text. Okay, so I'm starting from // and it has anchor tag, right? See, if I just mention // anchor, there are total 48 anchor tags are here. So 1 of 48 means in this single page there are 48 hyperlinks are there. All these are also hyperlinks. See, so out of which I want to identify my anchor tag using a text. So this text method is nothing but it will get the inner text of that particular thing, and text equal to create new account. See, so this has a text as create new account. You can copy this. I already typed it actually. See, it is giving 1 of 1. That means my create new account button is uniquely identified by using this particular XPath. Okay, so let me take this XPath and here driver dot find element by XPath, and this is my XPath which I created for that create new account button, and this is my web element. Okay, this is my create new. You can give meaningful names, guys. Account btn, that is nothing but button. Okay, so generally this find element method returns web element interface reference variable. So you need to import this web element. Okay, so here if you see web element and this one. So this web element interface has lot of predefined methods like send keys, click, all these guys. So as this is a normal button, I simply need to use a method called click. See, there is a predefined method called click. So it will simply click on that thing, right? So that's it. So I just located my web element, the button, and I'm using a method called click. It will click on it. So let me just simply run here, run till here. Okay. Then I will add some other lines to automate next set of steps. Let me just simply run and see whether it is asking to save. Yeah, let's see. See, it's starting my Chrome driver, opened my Chrome browser, launching that facebook.com. See, it clicked on that button. That's where it came up, this pop-up. So till here only I automated, right? So my execution is also finished here. So just I automated click action of a button. Now after that, I need to go to this pop-up and I need to locate this text box. Okay, let me locate this text box and then do it. Where is this? Yeah, here. Let me click on this create new account. See, this came up. Now I'm going to locate a text box now. So I'm going to automate this first name text box. So this is a input tag which has type, class, name as first name, and does it have ID? ID it has, but it is not promising. Let me use a name. Name something promising, first name. Generally it has a first name, right? So I am going to create an XPath only for this. Okay. So I can use driver.find element by name also, but as a consistent, right, I'm going to use XPaths only for all. So this is an input tag. So there are total 32 input tags in this entire page. So input tag, open this one and @name equal to that first name. Okay, 1 of 1. So that means my whatever XPath I'm using here, it is going to identify this particular element uniquely. Okay, so I can start from the root element, guys, here. So better, one of the best practice to be followed is like, so don't always locate your element directly from the that particular element. Start from the 1 or 2 nodes or the nearest root element, the nearest parent element. If you see here, this is full name field, and if I go, there is a form. Okay, there is a form element. Inside this form element, I have all the elements. I have all the form related stuff is there. Okay, so that means better start from this form. Okay, so I'm before this thing, I'm going to use form and // this is big. That means, so let me open this here and show you. See, my XPath is starting from form. Inside form, I have a input tag. So, and that too, this input tag is not a direct child. So if it is a direct child, then I can use a single forward slash. It's not a direct child, it is inside somewhere. That's why I'm using again double forward slash. So let's take this, and I'm going to, after clicking on this, driver dot find element by XPath, and this is my XPath for first name text box. Okay, so I'm going to create a new web element here. Web element, first name txt box text box. Okay, so here what I have to do, I have to, so let me first clear. Okay, so though it doesn't have anything, so better always use a clear method. If anything is there, it will first clean up. Then, as I mentioned, right, to enter any text into text box or text area, generally we have a predefined method called send keys. So this is the method where you just need to pass your text in a double quotes. That's it. So I'm going to pass a text into this thing, something like let me pass my name only, Ajay, just. Okay, so this, what this method will do, right, this send keys method, it will enter this text into this particular text box. That's it. Okay, so next let's try to automate other stuff also, and we'll run only once, guys. Okay, so that way we can speed up the things. So I will just enter the text. Then, so let's try to automate drop down. Okay, so as I mentioned, to automate a drop down, so generally let me locate this, inspect. See, this is a select tag. Whenever you find a select tag, then you can use a select class, predefined class in Selenium. This select, where is this? Yeah, select class. And then you can first create an object to the select class, and by passing that particular element information. Suppose, let me do one thing. Let me first locate this particular select box. So this is also inside form, right? Let me start from form only, and let me just remove this. And then see, it has a name, birthday underscore day, ID also there, day, month, year. This seems to be unique. So I can use either ID or name. Let me use name only. Let me take this, select @name equal to this name. See, one of one it is giving, and it is highlighting this particular day. This is day, month, year, right? Let me automate day. Okay, so I am taking this XPath, and first I am creating a web element. Okay, driver dot find element by XPath, and this is my XPath of that select box. That to that first select box, that is a day select box. So web element, let me mention select day, something, some name. Okay, and as I mentioned, right, first we need to create an object to select class. There is one predefined called select. So let me mention let me mention just day drop down, and this, let me mention the object. This is like select day equal to new select. See here where it is suggesting select is a from org.openqa.selenium. And one more thing you have to remember, or you need to follow, is like whenever you are importing any class or any interface or something, make sure that class is coming from org.openqa.selenium, guys. So this is the predefined package for all the classes or interfaces defined under the Selenium library. Okay, so there will be some other, see, suppose there is a select class with some other package will be there. Suppose you have some other libraries in your project, so select class might be there in some other library, but make sure, suppose you want to use the Selenium select class, then you need to import from the correct package. Okay, org.openqa.selenium. So then you need to pass a web element information. I am passing this day drop down here, directly web element, right? So after creating an object to the select class, this select class has three different methods: select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Let me take select by visible text. So that is nothing but whatever text it is displaying here. So suppose if you see here, it is displaying 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This is a text, visible text. So I can use, suppose let me use visible text as 20. Then it will select the 20 in the drop down. Okay. By default, today's date will be there, 22 and October 2022. I'm changing this to 20. Okay. And if at all you want to select by value, right? So suppose if you inspect this, see each option has a value. See value equal to 1, value equal to 3, value equal to 3. So you can pass something like select by uh, select by value. You can take that and you can pass this value. So that also one thing. And select by index. So index always start from 0. You can pass index 0 means first one will take. So out of 3, right, select by visible text is very uh, effective way to select the options in the drop down, guys. Okay, because you can directly select by whatever display text it is displaying here. Okay, that's it. So whenever you call this method, right, it will simply select this option. Okay, this is to automate in the drop down. Now let's automate the radio button. Here I have radio button also. Let me locate this radio button, and it is an input tag, and it is a type, and it has a name as sex or value as 1. Okay, so there are 3 radio buttons here. This one gender, like 3, female, male, and custom, right? So first one has value 1, second one has value 2, so third one has value, where is that, value -1 they have given. So by using that you can select, or see I can do one thing. See, let me start from input tag only. So inside form only this one is there. Just a moment. Form input and type as radio. So suppose see, for radio buttons generally input type will be, where is it? It gone somewhere. Yeah. See, for radio buttons generally input type will be radio. So I'm using that attribute called type at the right type equal to radio. See, there are total 3. So that means only 3 radio buttons are here. So, and I can use multiple attributes in the same thing as like this, and at the rate value equal to 1. That means the first checkbox will, first radar button will be selected. Sorry, this one. Okay, 1 of 1 it is giving. Let me show here. So I have used 2 attributes for the single tag, like at the rate type and at the rate value. So type is radio and value is 1. That means it is going to select the first radio button. Okay, let me use this driver dot find element by xpath, and this is my xpath, and this is my female radio button, right? First radio button. So as this is a button, so we can simply use a method called click. Okay. Yeah. And also I want to tell you one more thing, right? In case of radio buttons, you can select whether that radio button is selected or not. You can use is selected method. Okay. So it will return either true or false. Let me print that. Okay. So to print some message in say Java, you can use system.out to println, and let me print is radio is female radio button selected. I'm giving some message and then printing it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So I automated three things, guys. One is text box here, other one is drop down, other one is radio button. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to run all three together. I mean, everything. Let me see. Yeah. Let's start running it. Starting my Chrome browser, facebook.com, clicked on this thing and it has to first enter text. Okay. There is some issue. Let me check. See, my test case failed. So let's see how to debug the test cases or the script whenever it failed. Okay. See, whenever it failed, it gave some exception saying that no such element exception. So it is saying no such element, unable to locate. Which one? It is unable to locate this first name using this. Okay. So what could be the reason? So there will be multiple reasons for failures, guys. Okay. So one thing is based on the exception which you get it, you can start your analysis. So this is no such element exception. That means whatever XPath or whatever locator we are using, it is unable to locate that particular element by using that. That could be one of the reasons. And you can cross check. So you can come here and then again cross check using your XPath. Okay. So you can simply Control F and copy that your XPath, whatever you are using here. So first name, right? This one. Take this and then see it is giving 1 of 1. That means your XPath is correct. So let's go to next step. So that means XPath is correct. So then what could be the reason? Next reason. So it failed. So one of the other reasons could be like, see, as soon as I click on a create account button here, so it is taking just some seconds of time to open this up. Okay, some microseconds or even nanoseconds, right? So it is trying to open that, it is taking some time. So might be that could be one of the reasons, right? See, like, so because generally Selenium doesn't wait for anything else. It will simply go and perform the actions one after other as soon as it is available. Suppose, say after clicking on this button, so it is trying to directly enter this cleaning up that text box and entering that first name. If that pop-up is not available, then it will throw some exception. So that could be one of the reasons. Let's do one thing. If that is the reason, so I will add some weight here. Okay. So for now, I'm going to use a Java thread.sleep, guys. That generally should not be used. But let me just for example, let me use because we haven't gone through that synchronization concepts like WebDriver weight and all. So for now, let me use this simple thread.sleep. Okay. So this is nothing but I'm going to give some 2500 milliseconds. That is nothing but 2.5 seconds. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So it is throwing an error because I need to add try and catch. I mean exception it is throwing. Let me do one thing. Let me put enter this thing into try catch block. Okay. So not only just interrupt exception, let me take the super class of all exceptions, just simple exception. Okay. Yeah. Now what I did, I just after clicking on create account button, I just gave some wait time. So let's see whether it will fix this issue or not. Okay. Let me close my browser which was opened earlier and let me run it again. Let's see. So starting my Chrome driver, launching facebook.com and clicking on create account. And see, this time it entered text and it also selected 20 from this drop down and it also selected female radio button, right? So let me go back and check my output. See, there is no exception and see, is female radio button selected true? After selecting, it is returning true, right? That means, so everything went fine. I was able to run my test case. So this is how, guys, whenever any failure happens, you need to debug. Debug in the sense you need to analyze what could be the reason for failures. Okay, that is very important thing. So you cannot know, right? I mean, whatever script you have written, it's not always passing. There will be situations where it will fail. Though your test case is getting passed today, there might be chances like it will fail tomorrow. Like whenever you run the same test case without changing anything, if you run after 1 week, so there will be chances like it might get failed, right? So so for that, the failure analysis and then making your script work, right? So that is very important thing, very important task for our automation engineers. Okay, just not writing the script and then making sure. So whenever it failed, so you need to identify, you need to understand where it is failed and what could be the possible reasons, and fix one by one, and finally make sure that is working properly or not. Okay, so here I just added a thread dot sleep. So instead of thread dot sleep, I can use a synchronization concept which Selenium has provided, like explicit wait or fluent wait, to make sure after clicking on this particular element, I will wait for either first name, or I will wait for say sign up or something, anything. So that, so it will wait for that particular element to be visible here, and then it will proceed and perform the next set of actions. Okay, so that's how, guys, you should be able to fix the issues. Okay, so that's all about automating text boxes, radio buttons, drop downs. What I missed, checkbox, right? Let's do one thing. Let's quickly automate the checkbox also. It's almost same, guys. Only thing is you just need to call the click method. Suppose, let me show you one example where the checkbox will be there. Generally, let me see W3 schools. This is a basic site, guys, to learn any HTML or even core Java or any basic thing. So HTML checkbox. Suppose if I see here, this is the code for that thing. Let me click on try it yourself. See here, I have a checkboxes, right? So here you just need to locate this particular element and try to just use a click method to click on it. And before that, see here, I found one iframe is there. So generally, there are certain elements called iframes or frames, guys. So whenever any developers, they use iframes or frames in their code. So Selenium cannot locate this element directly if there is an iframe. So first I need to switch to that iframe by using driver dot switch to that frame ID or something, and then only I will be able to locate these elements or perform an action. So anyway, switching to the frame and all, anyway, we have a session for that. So I will show you that after synchronization we will discuss about how to handle the frames, pop-ups and all. Okay, so I think it's almost 2 hours, guys. Let's do one thing. Let's quickly discuss this file upload control, and we'll stop it here for today, and then we'll connect in the next session. Okay, so let's quickly discuss about file upload controls, how to automate it, and we'll close for today. See, generally file upload controls are one type of web elements which we not only rarely, generally see in the applications where user can upload a file and the application will process that file or something. So generally, Selenium has one of the limitations here, guys. Selenium can automate only one type of file upload controls. So that one type is nothing but whenever you locate that particular file upload control, if you see there is an input tag for that particular file upload control or text box for the file upload controls, such kind of file upload controls can be automated by Selenium. Okay, suppose let me show you one sample file upload control, how it looks. So dev express something. Demo.devexpress. This should be having. Let me see. Yeah. So if you see, this is one file upload control. If I inspect this, I see there is an input tag. Okay. So generally for some new model file upload controls, right? So there won't be any input tag. So such kind of file upload controls you cannot automate using Selenium. So for that again you need to go to some third-party tools and then automate it. Okay. So like by using Auto IT tool or something. But if you see any file upload control which has an input tag or which has a text box, such kind of file upload controls can be automated easily by passing that path of file which you want to upload here. Suppose generally here if you see this one, it is allowing the file extensions like jpg file or something. Suppose if I click on this, so why Selenium doesn't uh, automate this, right? Because see, this pop-up is coming. This is basically a Windows-based pop-up, guys. So it is showing my Windows-based file system where I want to select some file, because Selenium can only talk to the web-based applications. We discussed this in the last class, right? What are the limitations Selenium has it, right? So here, this is a Windows-based pop-up where all these files are coming from my Windows machine, right? So that's where Selenium cannot directly automate this kind of file upload controls. Here I need to select this, and so then that file will be coming here. But so as I mentioned, if this particular file upload control has a input tag, right, then we should be able to identify, we should be able to automate it. Okay, let's see. I will quickly show one example here. I am going to look at this create account. Yeah, let me under the same package, let me create a new class. Selenium underscore automate underscore file upload. Okay, just a moment, let me create a basic stuff, main method, and let me take the basic stuff like launching Chrome browser and loading the application. Here where I'm taking this dev express site which has sample file upload control. Okay, and then first I need to locate this element. Okay, so let me locate. It has a input tag with ID. This ID also seems to be okay. There are two input tags. Let me take, there is one fake input tag and correct. Let me take this input tag and let me start from the this table. Okay, so I'm starting from this table. I'm preparing an XPath /table @ID equal to this ID upload inputs. Okay, one of one it is giving, it is identifying this. So inside this I have an input tag with this ID. Okay, let me copy this and /. I'm using again because it's not a direct child, it is somewhere inside, and input @ID, this is also ID equal to this one. Okay, one of one it is giving. Let me take this XPath and let me quickly write driver.find element by XPath, and this is my XPath, and this is my file upload control. Okay, so here as it has an input tag, right, I can simply use send keys method and I can upload my file. Okay, so just file upload control dot send keys, and I need to pass the path of that my file. So let me first have one file which I want to upload it. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm going to have one image file in my, let me take it my from here, copy this file and have it under resources. Okay. Paste it. And this file I am going to pass it here. So before that, I need to pass the full path of it. So generally in Java, we have a file class. You can create an object to the file class. Okay. And you can pass that path here. So it is under root project, resources folder, and the name of the file. This is my file name. Okay. It is throwing one compile exception. Let me put it in try catch, surround with try catch. What has happened? The constructor string is not visible. Oh, so file is not from this thing. There is some wrong import statement came here. Okay, let me remove this and let me import the java.io. Okay, it's actually from java.io package. Okay, now first I got the file. So here I need to pass the absolute path of this file. So there is one method in file class. Let me put get absolute path. Okay. So this will return the absolute path of this particular file. Absolute path is nothing but where exactly this is there. If you go to the properties, so this file will be under D drive, this workspace and this project, and under resources it will be there. Okay. Let me simply run and show you whether it is really working fine or not. Okay. So generally, as I mentioned, guys, so file upload controls, only one type of file upload can be automated, because here if I see this particular file upload control has input tag, then I should be able to automate it. Suppose if doesn't have input tag, I cannot automate using Selenium. I need to use some other tool called AutoIT or some other way. Okay. For now, let me run this and show you. Starting my Chrome driver, it will launch that Dev Express site and let it load. See, it uploaded my file. How quick it was, right? See, my file name it came here. Okay. So, and if I see there is no error, these are all just info messages. That's it. Okay. So that's how, guys, one type of file upload control can be automated using Selenium. Okay, mostly we see input tag will be there, guys. Very rare situations you see input tag will be there. In such cases, you need to go for other alternate ways. Okay. So let's do one thing, guys. Let's stop it here for today. I cannot give more. I mean, there are a lot of stuff to be discussed, but let's see. We planned today till here. So let's see. Don't worry, we'll discuss all this in the tomorrow's. I mean, tomorrow in the sense next session. Okay. Yeah. So that's all from my side for today, guys. I can answer some of the questions now. I see some questions in the chat box. Let me quickly go through the chat box one by one. Yeah, what is the latest 17? This is not required. Do we need to remember all these methods? Yes. So as I mentioned, right, we need to remember all the methods. Those are very meaningful methods. Yes, you can simply remember. For click, just click method. For send keys or enter some text, send keys method, like that. You need to remember all those methods and the class names and the interface names. Yes. Okay. Next. So should we open in a non-physical mode? What is the use? Yeah. So generally that invisible browser, right? HTML unit. So generally in real time, we won't use that, guys. So that is for one of the examples because of some disadvantages which that has. So generally we need to open a browser physically so that you can take a screenshot whenever your any test case fails, all those things. That generally headless browser we don't use because, and in case of very complex test cases automation also, right? So headless browser is not that efficient. Okay. Next, headless browser is and all these things same. How to learn XPath? Yeah, I think this guys. So you can let me show you. Generally in this W3 schools has also just a moment. Or XPath tutorial. Yeah. So what is XPath and how to create an XPath? All these will be there, guys. So basic methods to create. Siblings, if at all, ancestors, all these, or else there will be another site also. This is one of the sites you can go for, or else just you can search in Google like learn selenium something. Okay, so Guru 99 is also one of the best sites where you can learn these things. Types of XPath, absolute, relative XPath, basic XPath. There will be methods like contains, are, and all text method which we used. There will be a lot of things will be there. You can, this will be one of the useful site, guys. You can go here and then learn it. So as I mentioned, right, once you learn the syntax, you just start identifying the elements of different websites and then cross check using that control F in the DOM structure. That way you can locate. So this Guru 99 XPath Selenium is also very useful. You can, from here also you can learn. Okay, next thing, just a moment. Yeah. When to create a Java package, when to create a Java class in Selenium testing. Yeah. So generally, before creating a class, we should have a package, guys. Okay. So you cannot directly create a class under source code folder. So first we need to create a package. Under the package, you are going to create a classes. So package is nothing but a group of classes. Okay. So that's where you cannot directly create a class without a package. Better go create a package first. Under that, you create a classes, multiple classes you can create. So next thing, instead of giving username and password in code, is there any method to calling them? I don't understand this. Username and password in code.
So Ajay Garu, I
Yeah.
think he meant instead of putting it in code, we can directly put it in a test data file or something like that instead of exposing the username and password.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There is a way actually. So because we are basic, I mean, starting learning basics, right? Generally, we are passing usernames in the send keys method. So, but always said one of the best practices to be followed is like we should not hard code the data in our code directly, because one of the reasons, like suppose whenever you pass username password in your code itself, if there is a change in it, so you need to come to the code and modify it. That is not recommended because I mean, non-technical guys cannot come to the code and then modify it. That is one reason. And also passwords also we should not expose directly in the code. Password should always be encrypted or something, so that we should use any encryption algorithm and then encrypt it and then use it. That is one way. Or else you can have it in a external files like in Excel files or CSV files or somewhere in some property files, have your username and passwords there, and write a logic to read the data from that particular file and then pass it to your code. Okay, so that's where we should not actually enter or keep your usernames, not only the username passwords, any test data also. Whatever test data we are using as part of our test cases, it should always be from some outside resources like some files or something, not directly into the code. Should not hard code the data into our script or code, guys. Okay. And next thing, in some cases we have web edit. Web edit we don't have, web element we have. Web edit is not from Selenium. Let me see, that is not from Selenium actually. There is no something called, there is no something called web edit. So generally in Selenium we will have web element, web driver, and so these are all the related to web element, web driver, something, that's it. WebSocket exceptions, these are all exceptions related. You don't, that majorly we have two main interfaces in Selenium. Is one is WebDriver, guys, other one is web element. These are the two interfaces, predefined interfaces we have in Selenium, which has a lot of methods. Those methods only we are using as part of our scripting or automating. Okay, so these are the main two interfaces which we have in Selenium library. So next thing, let me quickly, yeah. I'm actually looking for some help on Ready API automation. Is there any group? Yeah, Ready API or REST API? I'm not sure. What do you mean? Generally, there will be REST APIs or REST endpoints. So those are like web services automation. So for that, there will be separate tools will be there, guys. REST Azure or something, REST template. There will be some tools, Postman, all this. Using that, you can automate that. Okay. And your presentation has wealth of information. Could you please share? I'm not sorry, I cannot share my presentations. Yes, that is because of some personal reasons. So don't worry. Anyway, you guys are, this entire session is recorded. You can go through that videos. But sorry for that, I cannot share that slides or presentations which I have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sia Pupala garu, I think we are recording the session, Andy. You can take notes from the recordings if you want. Since this is by career IT trainings, they can't share their proprietary information.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I almost addressed all the questions. So guys, don't worry. I mean, if you guys have any questions, please, I mean, we have that group, right? WhatsApp group. You can directly post there. So I will be checking all those things and I will respond to that. Even my WhatsApp number is also there in that group. So you can personally also, if at all you want to ping me for any questions, not only related to Selenium, anything related to testing or anything, you can just directly message me in the my WhatsApp number. It's there in the group, or else even Shashank can share it also. He will also share so that we can all engage. I mean, whenever you have any questions, I'm ready to, I mean, happy to help you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Ajay garu. Thank you so much. I think it's late 12:15 for you. Yeah. Thanks, Ajay garu, and have a great Diwali. We'll have the session according to your convenience next week, Andy. I think it's a long weekend for you, right?
Yeah. I think next Saturday would be fine. Anyway, we'll confirm again.
Yeah, we'll confirm it, Andy. Yeah. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah. Thanks all. Thanks everyone. Have a nice weekend and also have a happy Diwali. Bye guys.